Most people think independence fades because of age, but what if I told you the decline has less to do with the number of candles on your birthday cake and more to do with how you start your day? Imagine two 75-year-olds. One walks confidently to the local cafe every morning, chats with friends, reads the paper. The other shuffles from the bedroom to the couch, watches TV, and naps through the afternoon. Same age, very different futures. What's the difference? Habits. We're told aging is inevitable, but decline is not. And science is catching up to what wise elders have known all along. Daily choices stack up over time. The routines you keep in your 60s and 70s quietly determine whether you'll be thriving or merely surviving in your 80s and 90s. Here's something most doctors won't tell you unless you ask. Independence has nothing to do with luck. It's about movement, mindset, and momentum. But more than that, it's about structure. What you repeatedly do becomes who you are. But here's the real shocker. Many of the habits that help you stay strong and sharp aren't about lifting weights or taking pills. They're simple, consistent actions that tell your body, we're not done yet. In this video, we'll walk through the 5 habits that matter most, backed by science, endorsed by experts, and easy enough to start tomorrow. Because your body listens to what you do. If you sit still, it shuts down. If you give it a reason to move, it remembers how. So before we dive into the first habit, ask yourself, am I living each day like I want to stay independent? Or am I accidentally slipping into decline? Most people don't notice the shift until it's too late. By the end of this video, you won't just know what to do. You'll know why it matters. And you'll see that independence isn't a destination. It's a decision. Your morning doesn't need to start with a bang. It just needs to start on purpose. The first 10 minutes after you wake up set the tone for your entire day, especially as you age. Yet most people over 65 fall into a routine of wake up, sit down, stay there. But your body is like a car on a cold morning. It needs to warm up before it can run smoothly. And the best time to do that is immediately after waking. Researchers at the University of California found that light physical activity within 30 minutes of waking can improve circulation, cognitive sharpness, and mood in older adults by over 40% compared to those who remain sedentary in the morning. Here's the habit. Spend just 10 minutes doing gentle movement when you wake up. Not a workout, a ritual. Something as simple as marching in place while brushing your teeth. Gentle shoulder rolls, arm circles, and neck stretches. Standing calf raises at the kitchen counter. Taking a walk around your home or garden before breakfast. What matters is you're signaling to your brain and body that the day is active, not passive. And here's the secret. It's not about what exactly you do. It's about consistency. You're retraining your nervous system to expect movement, alertness, and control at the start of each day. It rewires your balance, your joints, even your digestion. And maybe most importantly, it gives you a small daily victory. You begin your day with intention, and for many older adults, that simple act is enough to flip the mental switch from decline to engaged. Most people say, I'll move later, but later rarely comes, and by the time it does, so has stiffness, soreness, and sluggishness. That's why this habit is non-negotiable. Not because it's hard, but because it's powerful. So tomorrow morning, don't reach for your phone. Reach for your body. Tell it, we've got another good day ahead. Physical health matters, but don't underestimate the power of mental presence. One of the quietest threats to independence in later life isn't physical weakness, it's mental fog. Forgetfulness, confusion, and low mood often creep in slowly. But what most people don't realize is that you can train your mind to stay sharp, just like a muscle. And it doesn't require crossword puzzles or brain training apps. It starts with a 2-minute habit that neurologists call sensory grounding. Here's how it works. Every morning before turning on the TV or reading the news, run through your 5 senses on purpose. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can see that I didn't notice yesterday? What's one sound I can hear, near or far? Can I feel the texture of the floor under my feet or the warmth of my mug? What's the smell of my morning drink? or the scent in the air today? If I'm eating or drinking, what's the taste? What does it remind me of? This might sound small, but studies show that older adults who practice daily sensory awareness experience a slower decline in memory and attention, and even report higher life satisfaction. Why? Because when you engage your senses, you anchor your mind in the present moment. You're not drifting through the day, you're arriving in it. And here's the hidden benefit. This kind of mental check-in makes you more alert to changes in your environment, so you're less likely to trip over a rug, misplace your keys, or forget if you took your medication. Plus, it brings a quiet kind of joy. You start to notice the scent of toast, the play of light on your table, the way your pet greets you, all the little gifts that get overlooked when life is on autopilot. This habit doesn't require time, it requires attention. And by giving yourself 2 minutes of it each morning, you train your brain to wake up with the same clarity and intention as your body. Because staying independent isn't just about walking on your own. It's about thinking clearly, reacting quickly, and feeling fully alive. Let's bust a myth. You don't need to exercise to stay strong. You need to move often. The problem, most seniors think of fitness in terms of long walks, gym classes, or workout videos. And while those are great, they're not the secret sauce. The real game changer? Micro movements. Short bursts of activity woven into your day like snacks. They're called movement snacks for a reason. Just like a healthy nibble keeps your energy up between meals, movement snacks keep your joints, circulation and balance systems active throughout the day. Here's why it matters. Studies from Harvard and the Mayo Clinic confirm that sedentary behavior, even with a daily walk, raises your risk of falls, joint pain, and cognitive decline. It's not about whether you move once. It's about whether you move often. So here's the habit. Every 1 to 2 hours, stand up and do 2 minutes of movement. Some easy options. Wall push-ups while waiting for the kettle to boil. Side leg raises while brushing your teeth. Heel to toe walking across the room to challenge your balance. Light kitchen dancing to a favorite song while cooking. A simple yoga pose like standing mountain or forward fold. You're not training like an athlete. You're reminding your body it still works. And here's the magic. These little snacks wake up your nervous system. They improve blood flow to your brain, reduce stiffness in your joints, and sharpen your reflexes. So when you do need to bend down, reach up, or catch yourself, your body is ready. Think of it this way. Every time you move, you're sending your brain a message. We're still active. Don't shut anything down. These micro movements prevent decline, the same way brushing your teeth prevents cavities. Not with intensity, but with consistency. So instead of thinking, I have to do a big workout, just ask, where can I fit in a 2-minute movement snack today? Over a week, that's an extra hour of mobility, and you barely notice it. Little movements, big freedom. Here's something no one talks about enough. Loneliness is more dangerous than smoking. That's not an exaggeration. It's straight from a study by Brigham Young University, which found that chronic loneliness can increase early death risk by up to 45%. Why? Because your mind and body are wired for connection. Without it, everything starts to shut down. Mood, memory, even your immune system. And yet, it's shockingly easy to go through a day without speaking to anyone, especially in retirement. So here's your next life-saving habit. Talk to at least one person each day. On purpose. It doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to be long, but it does have to be real. Call a friend even just to say, I was thinking about you. Talk to your neighbor while checking the mail. Chat with the cashier at the market instead of using self-checkout. Text your adult child and ask how they're doing. Then really listen. Or even better, invite someone over for tea or a walk. This simple rule, one real connection a day, acts like emotional oxygen. It reminds you that you're part of a living, breathing world, that you still matter, that you're not alone. More than that, it keeps your conversational muscles strong. Your ability to recall words, tell stories, and understand tone and expression is a huge part of mental health, and conversation keeps it sharp. Think about it. When was the last time you really laughed with someone? Not because of a show, but because of a moment shared between two people. That's medicine. And yes, digital conversations count too. A video call, a voice message, even a reply on social media. But face-to-face or voice-to-voice is best. It uses more of your brain, heart, and soul. This rule may sound simple, but it could be the difference between living alone and feeling alone. And that, as you know, makes all the difference in the world. We often think of gratitude as something nice, polite, optional. But for those in their golden years, gratitude is essential, not just emotionally, but biologically. Studies from Harvard and Johns Hopkins show that seniors who practice daily gratitude have lower blood pressure, better sleep, reduced inflammation, and even improved memory recall. And perhaps more importantly, they report a higher quality of life, no matter their circumstances. But here's the catch. It only works if it becomes a habit, not a passing thought. That's why this final habit is so simple and so powerful. Write down one thing you're grateful for every evening. Just one. Call it your gratitude anchor. Because no matter how chaotic or quiet your day was, this habit grounds you. It reminds your brain. Today still had something worth remembering. Some days it might be big. I had energy to cook a proper meal. My granddaughter called. I walked without pain. Other days it might be small. The breeze smelled like jasmine. I enjoyed my tea. The sky turned pink before sunset. There's no wrong answer. Only the practice, the ritual, the anchoring. Because aging doesn't mean giving up control. In fact, this habit proves the opposite. You may not control everything in your life anymore, but you always control how you frame it. And that framing, done daily, rewires your mind to spot goodness, even on hard days. You become more emotionally resilient, more optimistic, and more connected to the life you've already built. This one habit alone can shift you from simply existing to appreciating. So, before bed tonight, grab a sticky note, a notebook, or even just your phone. Write one line. Today, I'm grateful for... That's it. But do it every night. It adds up. It changes things. Because gratitude, more than anything else, reminds us that life is still full, even when it looks quieter. You've just discovered 5 of the most powerful daily habits that protect your independence, sharpen your mind, and uplift your spirit. But now comes the question every wise person asks at some point in life. Will I actually do this? Here's the truth. Big change doesn't come from big effort. It comes from small effort repeated. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to join a gym, buy a fancy blender, or take 10 new supplements. What you need is to make a decision that today matters, that you're not just aging, you're living. These 5 habits are not chores, they are anchors. They're quiet acts of defiance against decline. They whisper to your body, we're not done yet. They whisper to your mind, stay sharp, stay present, and they whisper to your soul, there is still beauty here. So let's recap your new daily blueprint. Start your day with movement. 10 minutes to say, I'm here, I'm ready. Do your 5-sense check-in. Wake up your mind as well as your muscles. Take movement snacks. Little actions often keep you strong. Talk to one person. Stay emotionally and mentally connected to life. End your day with gratitude. Remind yourself that today was worth living. Together, these don't just help you live longer, they help you live better. Because staying independent isn't about avoiding a nursing home. It's about protecting your joy, your freedom, and your sense of self. And if you're thinking, it's too late for me to start, let me remind you, some of the most remarkable turnarounds in health and happiness happen after 70. The body responds, the mind rewires, the spirit revives, but only when you show up. So here's your call to action. Pick one habit. Start tonight. Then tomorrow, add another, and another, until it's no longer something you try to remember. It's just who you are. Because these aren't just habits. They're the keys to writing the best chapter of your life. Starting now.